So about your strike, so they striked you and you're suspended for a week. You can't post.
That's right. Can't post, can't stream, can't upload, can't do a short, can't don't pass go. No
What did
$200.
they community guidelines or what?
Yep, which is ridiculous because the two forms of strike are community guidelines or copyright. And if anyone saw what happened when I got knocked off, they would certainly assume it was copyright. They were telling me, "Hey, stop streaming that. You're copyright." And I'm like yelling at them while I'm doing my stream. This is not a copyright violation. Stop interrupting my stream. It's not a copyright violation. And this is fair use, and this cannot be once you enter fair use, it cannot become a copyright violation. Stop shutting me down. And they just kept sending more, interrupting. Like I think someone told me 6 times, which they've never seen. And I basically assumed, I practically dared them to give me a strike because I was like, it'll be a copyright strike and I can have that knocked off in 10 seconds because this is the most blatant case of fair use, not copyright imaginable. I spent 3 hours I spent an hour and a half going through 17 minutes of content. That means I was adding into 17 minutes of during the course of an hour and a half, I spent an hour and 10 minutes talking about 17 minutes worth of content. So like, how the heck is that not fair use? So I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, you don't know what you're talking about. This is absurd. It's asinine. And I'm tired of these I'm tired of these big woke corporations that have a lot bigger than people like you or me coming around and basically saying you can't analyze us and we're going to hit you with a strike. I saw the same thing with Saturday Night Live did the same thing to me, and so I figured I'm going to get a community strike. I'm going to get a copyright strike, and I will send that to Kingdom Come. Well, sure enough, what I found out today when I was chatting with YouTube support was that they say, no, we gave you a community guideline strike because we kept telling you to stop and you ignored us. I was like, you were telling me to stop, but you were wrong for telling me to stop because I wasn't doing anything wrong. They're like, but we kept telling you to stop and you ignored us. And I'm like, but you shouldn't have been telling me to stop. And then they're like, but we kept telling you and you did ignore us. I'm like, so like, if you told me that I need to jump on one foot and I ignored that, is that like a reason to give me a strike? Like, this is so stupid. This is just ridiculous. Why don't you assess and look back and see whether or not it was actually violating anyone's copyright? And if you spend 10 minutes looking at what I was doing, you would see that every 10 seconds I was stopping that stupid video and laughing at it. So that's clearly fair use. And if you were actually looking at what you were doing rather than just algorithmically popping me off, you never would have given me a strike. So yeah, it's just,
that's stupid.
So because it's a community guideline thing, so now they transition the nature of the fight. Instead of it being a fight of me versus Vice, as is this copyright, is it not? Now the fight, they made it like, well, do you deserve a strike for ignoring us or not? And well, the truth is I was ignoring them. So, I don't see this strike going away. I think I'm going to have to ride this sucker out. I don't think it's going to go away. And then I had a whole argument with the support about the fact that when I submitted it for review, so I'm talking about there are two things that happened here. They took down the video, demonetized and took it down and made it, it's not even showing in my studio. Sometimes they'll like take it down that no one else will make it private and no one else can see it, but I can see it. To me, it looks like it's been deleted. Like that never happened. And then the second thing is they issue a strike. So they said, do you want a review? So I was like, yeah, I want a review because I want this video back up. But I also want to fight the strike. That's the second thing that I want to fight. So I submitted, they give you a character limit. So they give me an 800 character limit and explaining, what they should review. And they come back and say, well, so, regret to inform you lost your appeal. And I'm like, lost my appeal? I didn't even appeal. That wasn't an appeal. That wasn't about the strike. That was about the video. That's like two different things. And were you looking, I'm trying to explain to you why this video is fine. I don't think you even looked at that. All you were looking at is, did Joe ignore us? Did Joe ignore us? And you never thought to even ask, was he violating anything when we sent him a notice that he was violating. So, and that's what I really want them to take a look at, which I don't know if they ever will. And I asked them for another chance to appeal. They said you can send when I explained it to the support guy, he said, well, you can write it out to me here and send it to me, and I'll pass it on for like an additional look. And I'm like, this sounds I don't even know what I'm asking them for, because I don't think they did a real review. I think when I asked for a review, they did an appeal thing, and I can't win that argument because it is true. I did ignore them, but the real focus has to be that I want them to actually look and ask themselves how anyone can interpret that as being anything but fair use. And if you think that maybe if YouTube takes this position, you know what? Maybe some people, for one reason or another, might come to the conclusion this is not fair use. It was a copyright violation. Then give me a copyright strike, not a community strike. Because if they give me a copyright strike, that gives me the power to actually issue a counter notice to the copyright holder. Right? And that, if I make a counter notice, the way the law works is that puts the burden on Vice, the copyright owner, to run to court within 10 days to say we want to stand behind our copyright, and this guy Joe violated our legitimate copyright interest, and ask the court to intervene. And if they don't, it's automatic. Their thing is dropped. But because YouTube did this stupid thing with the whole community guidelines, we don't even get to an examination as to whether or not I was breaching anything when I was airing that video. If they really just like ran me this way and then ran me that way and then bent me over. It was just, it's asinine. And what are you going to do? So now I'll be streaming to locals.
On Twitter, will it work?
I wrote out a lengthy thread. Like 8 o'clock or so, I posted a lengthy thread explaining what I learned about the whole community guidelines versus copyright strike thing. Yesterday, when I first was complaining about it on Twitter, Team YouTube said, we'll look into it, but it'll probably take a few days. After talking to the support staff today, I have very low expectations for getting any remedy here. So it is what it is.
This is why, like everyone's like, oh, let's get Jess to 1,000 subs. Let's get her monetized, blah, blah. And I'm just like, honestly, I don't even want to be monetized with YouTube.
Hey, guys, can I help you?
Hello. There are certain
actions
that we see as harmful to our
channels,
and we want them removed, please.
Oh, you don't want
demonetized
anymore?
Quit being biased against conservatives. Good Logic has been waiting on monetization for nearly 3 months.
You don't like
being discriminated against.
Oh, our company actually
brings people
together.
Well, can you
allow us to make money like
we want?
Oh, I'm sorry, our company doesn't work that way. You want me to give you the number of a different
hosting
company that can... Oh, wait, we're it, aren't we? Dang it, guess you have to deal with our
Section 230 immunity.
Brought to you by arbitrary censorship. Son of a gun. I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of this. I am so sick of YouTube. I am so sick of this. I am so freaking sick of this. I am so sick of this. What the heck is happening to our world? What is happening to our society here? This is so stupid. I spent so far on YouTube, I spent literally 1 hour and 43 minutes watching 17 minutes. 17 minutes. It took me 1 hour and 43 minutes, 103 minutes to get through 17 and a half minutes of this garbage that Vice produced. Your stupid video, your stupid stream. I spent over 100 minutes going through 17 minutes, breaking down comment by comment by comment by comment. And you're sitting here telling me that I'm copyright infringing you? Go to hell. I am done with this. You know what? No, I am going to resume streaming this, and I'm going to keep watching this, and I don't care what the hell happens on this, because I'm sorry. This is completely and totally messed up. This is exactly what fair use is. I am reacting to this video in real time. I'm breaking down Vice for being, and I'm calling them out that, in my opinion, this looks 100% staged. You want to know why? Because you suck, Vice. You are losers. You're a bunch of freaking losers. Like, you're sitting there and you're like, oh no, someone is streaming our work. You cucks, you losers, you complete and total sacks of feces. What is wrong with you? How dare you actually pretend that you did any sort of review of what I was doing here on this show and came to a good faith conclusion that, oh, this is a violation of copyright, when this is classic fair use. I am taking this stupid video with this bunch of 8 fake people who are all pretending to be caricatures of the gay dude, the minister dude, the here's our non-binary individual, here's our awakened black person, your whole stupid thing, and I'm calling out your crap production because you, Vice, suck. You're losers, and I hate you, YouTube, for being so stupid that you just like responded like, oh my gosh, maybe someone is actually streaming something that's already been streamed somewhere else. Why wouldn't you clear it up later? Your system, YouTube, is stupid. Why would you not clear this up? You say, you know what? We're going to let him stream, and whoever deserves the money for this is going to get the money for it. And if it's fair use, in that case, we'll let Joe have it. And if it's not fair use, we'll just give it to Vice. Why wouldn't you do that? What is wrong with you? How stupid are you? But you have to set up this stupid, imbecilic, nonsensical system, which is designed to basically snuff your own content creators. Do you not understand a basic thing about the way your own platform works? How did you make billions of dollars without having, the first friggin' clue as to how copyright law works? Then you don't say to yourself, hey, you know what? Why don't we maximize this? And whoever's entitled to the money for the views for this is going to get the money. I mean, that doesn't that make sense? No, we're just going to shut you down. Shut you down. Why? Because, High League of Ice comes along and they're like, oh, we're upset. We're upset that we're not making the money from our stupid, obviously produced video where we edited out parts that we didn't. It's one of two things. Either the entire thing is staged and all these 8 people are actors, or they just carved them down into these cartoon-like characters and said, hey, gay dude, can you please make sure you sit as gay as possible the entire time and make sure your voice is as high-pitched and as lilting as possible so you can be the best possible character of gay dude. And hey, black reformed convict now turned minister who's the smartest person on the planet, you're going to sit there and say these really evolved woke statements that then you're going to basically present as being, this is gospel of truth that everyone should just basically be writing down, and rip up your Matthew, rip up your Deuteronomy, and write down whatever black reformed convict says, because he's the guy who really understands it, and he's not swayed. And let's get cartoonish cowboy guy, get him his prop hat, throw that on his head, and have him basically sit there saying, Jesus wants you, Jesus condemns you, and then it's like aggravating. It's aggravating how stupid this production is. And I'm sitting here breaking down line by line by line. Do you not understand what line by line means? So much so that my own audience, which is watching me live, is sitting there saying, Joe, let them finish at least this statement that they're making. And I'm like, no, I can't hold myself back. They're 9 words into their stupidity, and I'm cutting them off. But no, that's not fair use. No. Joe, the reason you know why Joe's doing this, because he's trying to leech. Oh, he's totally leeching from them. Oh, this is such a leech job. It's like he's practically like they're drawing the caricatures that they love putting up there. They might as well like draw good logic as like some big blood-sucking Jewish leech who's sitting there just latching on and taking other people's content and trying to pilfer that and make money off of that. Go to hell. You're a bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of cucks and losers. You insecure, stupid, pandering to your stupid, tiny, shriveling crowd, Vice. You're losers. YouTube, Susan, you're losers because you cater to the big money woke corporations like Vice and their stupid propaganda that they're trying to sell out to the community. And what you really hate, the real reason you're shutting down, is because you hate the fact that I'm exposing how stupid your crap is. And I'm going to keep exposing it. So good luck. And when you want to fight me in court on this, you want to go take me to court and say, oh, Joe is violating our copyright, good luck with that. Go ahead. friggin' sue me. Go for it. You sue me. Good luck trying to convince anyone that what I'm doing here is anything but classic fair use.
This is a commentary video, and it's protected under fair use. Stop breaking the law.
I'm not stopping on this. I'm not stopping on this. I'm going to keep airing this. I'm going the entire way through. I'm telling you now, Vice. I'm telling you now. You give me a strike, and I'm telling you that we're going to end up in court over this. So I am not sitting down on this. I am not sitting down on this. I am tired of this. I am not doing anything wrong. I'm not trying to take your work. This is classic fair use. Same way someone could take my face, my image, and sit there and play with it and do what they want with it, and I would be helpless to it because that's what American law says. I am not backing down from this. Let's see what these losers have to say now. Walk us through. Teach us what masculinity is.
Can they go off?
I think it's
Sorry for my display of toxic masculinity there. As if there is such a thing.
What he's saying is there's a
successful.
toxicity to femininity as well.
No, there isn't. There isn't. There's no toxicity to masculinity. There's no toxicity to femininity. There's either men who suck at being men, and there are women who suck at being feminine women. But this is something that is to say this is such. When I say this to you, it probably sounds like you probably never hear anyone say that, even though it's obvious. Because we've been so dampened. Our knowledge has been so dampened by stupid messaging from the likes of Vice, who suck and are copyright cucks.
There is a toxic side to both genders.
Well, I think anybody can be narcissistic, but I think that it's weird to randomly attribute that to women in New York because they're being complimented all day.
there's a term.
It's not just women in New York. It's women in LA too. This is why I love you, Joe. Well, thank you. Now more arbitrary censorship. Brought to you by Arbitrary Censorship.